What is up, my dudes? My name is Laura, and welcome to not another video, because this is my first video. Welcome to my October Plan With Me video. I am ready to go. I've got my witchy, bitchy, rare AF Starbucks cup that I had to fight 2 moms over. And yeah, let's do this thing. I've got my washi tapes handy. Here are some that match my color theme as my spoopy vibe. Ew, I'm sorry I said that. I just thought it was cute. Here's a washi tape that I have that's beveled. I got off of wish.com. I think it's cute, and I'm excited to add it to my spread. I was at Target the other day, and I found this pack of Papermate flares. And funny story, I was in Mexico about a year ago, and I was getting a manicure, and I was drunk because Mexico, and for some reason I thought this exact same color scheme looked Mexican. That's right, I thought a color scheme looked Mexican, so I got one of each nail colored these colors. This is embarrassing. Something about this color scheme reminds me of this time of year, don't know why, but when I got this pack it matched the exact same colors here that I have that I was planning on using anyways, so it kind of worked out. Here you see I'm using Crayola Super Tips in orange and in green, and I have my Stabilo's Pen 68, don't know what that means, but it's on the pen if you want to find it. Also, everything will be linked down below. And last but not least, I have a blue mild liner. I also am a scrapbooker at heart. That's why I have these stickers from different books that I've had laying around that I've been wanting to use for a little while. I have this cool pack that I thought was cute, and Lord knows I know nothing about drawing, so stickers is the way to go. Which brings me to my sponsor today, Skillshare. That's right, first video sponsored, baby. Just kidding. Yeah, no, they don't sponsor me. They have no idea who I am. I do use the service though, and I do love it, but just kidding. Something that I do know how to do decently well is doing fonts. And so I like to take a piece of mailer sticker paper. You know what I'm talking about. I'll show you here soon. But I wanted to draw out a font that I could use and kind of personalize a little bit instead of just having random stickers. I played around with 2 different fonts, and I liked the second one more, and so I started coloring that one in. Now, I intend my videos to be pretty beginner friendly, and so I wanted to share that a couple of these have a learning curve when it comes to how to use the marker on this paper. It might be why people don't use this paper to color with markers and stuff, but I can see that like some of the areas were getting blotchy, some of it was peeling up, especially with the mild liner. Again, it might just be the paper. I might not know what I'm doing, but just so you know, if you're going to use this type of paper, you might encounter that. A reason that I like to use this paper is because you can literally just peel the back off and stick it down, as you can see here, which works really well if you're printing. I love to print my pictures on this paper, but it might not be so good for drawing with markers. So I just fussy cut the paper, which is a weird term. Didn't know that that's what it was called. I don't actually know if that's what it's called. Job's Journal calls it that. And so now I call it that because Job's Journal is pretty bomb. And I like his stuff. Okay, let's get on. Once I had my October header all cut up, I started playing around with some stuff. I guess I'm considered a collager in the bullet journal world, if that's what you want to call it. Basically, I don't usually have a 100% laid out idea of what I'm going to do whenever I go into bullet journaling. I just have elements, stickers, maybe things that I thought would be cool but just don't know the layout. And so I like to play around with stuff and see what fits what matches what, and so you can see that I was playing around with what color I wanted to use for my cover page, where the October header would fit, and stickers, and just a whole bunch of other stuff that I use. Later in other bullet journals, I'll show you what a drawing month looks like, or what a collaging month looks like, but this is usually what I do. I just play around with stuff, stick it in. I think it makes it easier, especially if you're not a drawer or if you're new to bullet journaling, because I get really stressed if I have to like plan out a plan for my planner, if that makes sense. Like, it should be fun, and it should be something that helps you get along with your month or your day or your things that you need to do. So anyways, small rant over. All that to say, here are me sticking things together that I think look nice in a cool way. After outlining some of the stickers with a white gel pen, I let it sit for a little bit to see how it is. Since this is the glaze, it takes a little bit to kind of show up, so I just let that happen. And then I moved on to my right page. So I've been bullet journaling pretty much as long as I can remember. Even before I really knew what it was, I had some semblance of a book that held my plans and my memories and stuff. And so I've only recently gotten into the whole bullet journal community and the right way to do things and stuff. And I never really did a cover page because, one, I'm just not crazy artistic like that, and I feel bad if I'm not drawing my cover page, because then I'm, being inauthentic or something. But two, I never really saw my cover page other than when I did it, because when I'm just using my bullet journal day to day, I don't really open it up to that page. I only open it up to the pages that I'm using. And so I tried doing a cover page a couple times, but it just wasn't working for me until I thought, you know what I'll do? I started combining my cover page with some of my trackers. And so you'll see here that on the left is my cover page, and on the right I have my habit tracker, my month in review, and a little body tracker that I like to put, and I fill that information out later. But just to show you that, like, you can combine elements, do things that work for you, make things just kind of work in the way that they work for you, I guess. That makes sense? I don't know. So I filled out a lot of the information. Off camera, you can see just a little calendar. And I like to leave some blank space just so that I can have, I don't know, something else to do during the month. Sometimes if I fill it all out too early, then I get bored and I want to do something else. So I leave some space to fill in later if I want to put in some stickers or some washi tape or draw some things. This next piece that I have going on here is actually something that I got from Planning with Kay. And what this is basically a day in review. So I have this box, and each day gets 2 lines. Each day has a mood, a productivity number, and an energy number. And it took me a lot of trial and error to get to this point. I really don't like having to switch pens around and different color markers when I'm trying to go about my day to day. And so I started doing something that works for me, as you'll see here. Here's some footage of my September one that I'm using now, some of my filled out days, and basically my mood, my productivity, and my energy for the day all get a number 1 through 10. And so, 1 is not doing too hot, 10 is the best it could be, and so each day gets a number, and I find that to be a lot easier than a color code or something like that, because it just makes it easier to use what you have and not, sit down for an extra 20 minutes, find the color that you need. I always hated when I wanted a color and I have 2 colors that look the same and one color just did not work for what I wanted to do, and so I like this number way better. It just works for me. Again, bullet journaling is about what works for you. And so what I do here is have those numbers, and then I come up with like a little highlight reel of my day. Just a couple sentences
to tell me what I did, and it's something that I can look back on. To give it a little bit more pizzazz, I like to color in these lines as we're seeing for each day, and then give it some type of header. Here you can see that I played around with some stickers, some placement, and just throughout October for the month that we're in, because this is October. And that's basically it for this spread. Let me know if you want a more in-depth view of what this means, what it's supposed to do. I find this to be one of the most useful parts of my bullet journal because I really like to see how my energy plays into my productivity, plays into my mood, and vice versa. As we flip the page, we come onto my last spread for the video, which is my weekly spread. Now, again, this is another thing that I came up with actually not too long ago. I started doing my monthlies like this maybe 3-ish months ago, and it's something that I really like just because I was noticing that I didn't necessarily have a lot of tasks that needed to happen at a specific day. And so I knew that I wanted a running to-do list and that I wanted to keep some type of calendar for the things that I knew that I needed to do that were more like events. So I actually am able to fit 2 weeks in one spread doing it this way. I enjoy doing it like that. You might not want to do only two weeks on one spread, but it's enough room for me to fit what I need to do and my events and what I want to do. And again, I don't really have a lot of tasks that are needed for every day, and so if I do, I have enough space to put that there, but it's mainly, my dailies are mainly for events that I'm having, just so that I can plan, I'm having a dinner with this person, or I have a meeting this time, and then my running to-do list goes into those 2 weeks, and so I'm able to see my to-do list, see if there was anything that I did last week that needs to be done this week, anything that I need to migrate. I have it in one list and it's all in one place. Sidebar, I'm obsessed with this washi tape. I'm including a clip here that shows you kind of the color shifting of it, but it's so cool because it is like color shifting, holographic, unicorn skin. Don't quite know what the difference is for this one. Sorry, holosexuals. I am also a holosexual. Please do not come for me. And I got it at the dollar store. It was a pack of 2. So like, it was only $1. $1? So like I said, I'm able to fit 2 weeks, and each day I use the standard A5 journal. And this journal, by the way, is Archer and Olive, which I love. I want to finish it and do a review on it in a later video. But each day fits 4 rows, which is enough rows for me. Honestly, I don't usually have more than 4 different events going on, and I'm just making the colors match. Another thing that I like to do here is kind of use the bare bones, have some design, but I like to leave a lot of space to design later. Here's a clip of something that I did this week where it was just like, oh, I want to fill something in my bullet journal, and so I just added some stickers and a quote that I really liked. And it gave me the opportunity to do more stuff with my bullet journal as the month progressed. Setting up your whole bullet journal at the beginning of the month can kind of make the rest of the month boring if you want to do other things with your bullet journal. And so I leave some space to kind of play around. I just make sure that I have my main things, which are my weeks, my calendar so that I can get an overview of the month, and my to-do list. As you can see, I finish up here by just cutting around the edges, making sure everything is nice and clean. And now it's time for the final flip through. Here it is. This is my final flip through. I really hope you enjoyed this month. As I said, this is something new for me. I've done videos in the past, but this is kind of my first bullet journal video, and so I'm excited to play around with that. Hope you'd enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for checking out my channel, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye!